Alright, so I just got back from seeing the new Star Trek movie, and let me just say, it was pretty kick-ass. But there were a number of things that should have been clarified. Well, let me say that the movie was definitely dumbed down for the bigger audience. Like, you don't need to know anything about Star Trek to get by with it. So it's like, you could take that out to see your whole friends or whatnot, but I could see Trekkies, it's regardless it's good, but I could see diehard Trekkies getting upset with the inconsistencies. And for one thing, I'm not a diehard Trekkie, but I was, or I still am, into Star Trek enough. I'm a big fan of the old episodes, back with William Shatner and all that. Very also into the books. I've read a lot of Star Trek books. The newer seasons, not so much, but so I know enough to know what's going on, and so you definitely dumbed it down. They didn't clarify certain things enough, like it wasn't really necessary, but they really could have clarified certain things. One thing, Klingons. I was like, they kept mentioning Klingons, and I was like, okay, so we're gonna see a Klingon, and I don't think I saw one Klingon the whole time, and a lot of people, I can see people not knowing anything about Star Trek, think, oh, those people with the pointy ears, those are the Klingons, the ones that are attacking Earth, as the Klingons. No, they clarify that later, but that could definitely lead to some unnecessary confusion. And the thing is that there's just with the Romulans, it's just one huge inconsistency that kind of I can ignore it, but the back of my head I'm like, man, that is a huge plot hole, and that is with the Romulans, with Nero and everything. For one thing, okay, so they're from the future when Romulus, their planet, is destroyed, and so okay, planet's destroyed, they go back in time. Simple as that. But this is what I think they did. But I mean, I guess you can imagine, but what's the clarity? What's the official stance on this? But they waited they got back in space. They went back in time to when the baby Kirk was just born. So you tell me they waited 25 years in space? I don't believe that happened. So what I think happened was that they went to Romulus, their planet, and told them, hey, I'm from the future. And they probably could have, they could have gotten away with it too, and because they had advanced technology that the Romulans hadn't found yet, so they could probably have gotten away with that junk with the Romulan Empire believing them, and be like, hey, this is gonna happen in the future. Just giving you guys a heads up, and and then go on a rampage. Because a good thing is that the guy Nero, he said, we are separate from the Empire. So, I would have liked to have seen what the Romulan Empire stance was, but we didn't get to see that at all. You would have thought that these were the last ones around, but Romulus and Remus, the Empire is still around. They're still prevalent at the time, but they didn't show that at all. I'm like, come on. So I think, well, it was kind of cool because, oh, they destroyed Vulcan. That was badass. And that guy just said he was just like a splinter cell. So basically, the Romulan Empire was just kick ass. Yeah, we destroyed Vulcan finally. But yeah, I mean, I was thinking about would Romulans do that? With their close ties with Vulcans. But I was yeah, they do that. But the point is that they didn't clarify that, and if you don't know anything about the system, about the show, just the Star Trek universe, you might be like, what? Come on, And I know it's the alternate universe, and they do that a lot. So I was just like, okay, whatever. Alternate universe, that's cool. I like that they brought the old Leonard Nimoy back. Yeah, I think that's his name. Yeah, they brought him back. But another thing I wanted to clarify, was Nero. I'm sorry. But you know, I thought he was a very admirable character, you know, and because what he did, you know, like I could see this guy, like I thought it was very honorable, like what he did, you know, for his nation, like to just go back in time and just destroy a planet, like that is just like take revenge on your people, for your people. And you know what? Another thing they didn't clarify was that, so, you know, Spock knew what was gonna happen. He was trying to help him, but they didn't find out was that Vulcan, their planet government, was hesitant to give him the red matter to create the black hole, which could have saved the planet. You know, and so when Nero said the Federation did nothing to stand by, nothing to prevent that from happening, completely justified. So basically, I was rooting for Nero the whole time. You know, I was like, yeah, you know, when he destroyed Vulcan, I was like, about time. And yeah, you know, for people who don't know the history of the Vulcan and Romulans, like it doesn't, it's like, oh, what, you're just referring the massacre of people, but you understand this guy's viewpoint, like, man, he is a hero to the Romulans. And that is just, you know, he did so much. And I felt, I got a little emotional when by the way, he didn't die. When he went into the black hole, I was like kind of emotional, like, you're strong, dude. Like, I was like, you're a great man. And because they showed him, he's just like, he accepted his fate. You know, it's like good, you know. So they didn't show him dying either. So maybe the sequel or whatever, they might bring him back, but I doubt it. They'll probably bring him Klingons. But you know, it was a good movie. Some problems with it, but it's if you're not a Trekkie, you enjoy it. And Nero was a great man for what he did. And so, yeah, just felt like clarifying that because I haven't seen this on YouTube yet. And I was hoping I'd get to see some people's responses on what they would do if they were in Nero's shoes. Hell, if I was in Nero's shoes, I would have done it. I would have destroyed Vulcan, given the history of the two planets. Definitely would have gone to Romulus if they don't clarify that, but I definitely would have gone to Romulus and saved the planet. But I mean, he was a minor. He was just a minor, and he destroyed Vulcan. Something the Romulan Empire could not do, a minor did. That is an admirable guy. Like, I want to make a background wallpaper of this dude because he's just that awesome. So yeah, if you haven't seen the movie, go see it, and definitely look up the Romulan Empire because I think they're pretty badass. Peace.